And good morning, guys. Welcome to my morning after review for last night's WWE Fastlane 2017 pay-per-view. We're going to take a look at everything that took place and went down on the Fastlane Raw exclusive branded pay-per-view that emanated live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I have a lot that I want to get off my chest about this pay-per-view. So if you guys are tuning in live, thank you for being patient. I wanted to wait to come up here and give you my full thoughts, really digest, sleep on it, and, didn't want to come up here being as angry as I could have been. Of course, you see I got the list, and there was a lot that I put on last night's show on the list. So that'll be fun for this video. So for tuning in, be sure to participate in the live chat. Let me know what you thought of Fastlane last night. It was a show going into it, I'll have to say, that I had expectations for. And I just felt, from what I saw that could have happened and from what we actually got, I just felt like it was a lazy effort. Another lazy effort from the Raw brand. Now, there was good on it, and we'll highlight the good, like I always do. I want to focus on the positives. But there were just some decisions that left me scratching my head, like, why are we doing this? Why are you doing that? You're stalling for time, clearly. And we'll get into that, but it should have been a better show, especially being that we're less than 4 weeks out to WrestleMania. Your biggest show of the year. You needed this show to be, I kept saying, an A or B show. We got a shitty go-home episode of Raw, now a lackluster pay-per-view. I mean, tonight, are you going to deliver an A or B show for Raw? I mean, you're going to have to at this point. If you deliver a mediocre episode of Raw, boy, this road to WrestleMania, when it comes to the Raw side of things, it's going to be pretty bad. It's uncreativity. It's just, I see laziness. I mean, come on. You got how many writers on this team? And this is the best you can come up with? I mean, it did not make for a good show, and we'll get into that. But let's talk about, real quick, we have the kickoff match here. It was Akira Tozawa, Rich Swann, and the Brian Kendrick, or Akira Tozawa and Rich Swann taking on the Brian Kendrick and Noam Dar. No surprise here, Akira Tozawa and Rich Swann got the win here. Rich Swann hit a nice-looking Phoenix Splash in this match, so apparently tonight on Raw, we will be getting Rich Swann taking on Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship, so we'll see what goes down there. And if that potentially leads to an Austin Aries Neville program, I think that would be really great stuff right there, especially for the Cruiserweight division. We'll talk about the Cruiserweights on this show. I didn't watch the kickoff match. If you guys did, let me know. Leave your comments down below in the comments section. What did you think of this match? But yeah, I'm not typically one that goes out of my way to watch the pre-show here. And let's get into the main card. The main card kicked off. I like the way that it kicked off. We had Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe. I thought it was a good, solid opening match. Definitely one of the highlights on this show. I love the way that just Joe came out, full of piss and vinegar intensity. This is his main roster pay-per-view debut, and he really took it to Sami Zayn. He really went down there to put a hurting on Sami Zayn. And Sami took a lot of punishment early in this match. Eventually, Zayn was able to get a couple dive. He dove over Samoa Joe. Joe hit the inverted atomic drop and running senton for a 2 count. Eventually, Zayn was able to hit the blue thunder bomb on Samoa Joe, but Joe was able to kick out of that. And towards the end of the match, Zayn attempted to go for the sunset flip powerbomb as he had Joe up, trying to get him off the top rope. But Joe was able to hold on to the top rope. Zayn whipped Joe into the top turnbuckle, and Joe hit the Uranagi slam. That looked really nice on Sami Zayn. Joe got Zayn into the Kikina clutch, and it was not long after that Sami Zayn tapped out. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a struggle for Sami Zayn, but I get the idea. You would have built Samoa Joe up as the destroyer, this dominant, unstoppable ass kicker. So I had no problem with the finish. To me, it was just kind of like, that's it. I would have liked to have seen, I think the match went 9 minutes and some change. I would have liked to have seen the match, give him 5-7 more minutes. And you could have done that. And we'll get into how you could have done that because of what happened in the middle portion of the show when the show completely went off the cliff. But I thought this was a good start for the Fastlane pay-per-view. Joe looks strong and dominant, and I'd like to see Samoa Joe versus the Demon, Finn Balor, at WrestleMania. You want to keep me intrigued on the Raw brand, something to keep me watching, tuning in over these next 4 weeks? Do a Samoa Joe Finn Balor feud. Balor's ready. He's got to return tonight, right? Well, I've been saying that for a while now, but we shall see. So that was that match, guys. Let's move on next. Right here, we have our Raw Tag Team Championship match. The Club, Anderson and Gallows defending their Raw Tag Team Championships versus Enzo, Amore, and Big Cass. I thought it was a standard tag team match, something that you probably could have seen this on Raw, and it wouldn't have been out of place. Definitely know that these two teams have put on a better match. But to me, what really hurt this match going into it is this just tag team division as a whole. It's really just a jumbled, complete mess. It's just like Anderson and Gallows, they really have no momentum. I mean, since they won the titles, they've been booked to lose to Roman Reigns. They've lost matches left and right. So not really buying them as legit champions. And Enzo and Cass have cooled off tremendously ever since the horrible booking of them in that god-awful feud with Rusev. And you go back to that feud with Rusev. Think about this. Did Enzo and Cass come out of that feud looking better? I'd say no. Did Rusev come out of that feud looking better? No. So, to me, that entire feud was pointless because it didn't benefit really anybody, and it actually hurt Enzo and Cass to the point of where their momentum is cooled, and it's going to take a lot for them to get that momentum back. I hope they can get it back, but I thought the match was okay. It picked up towards the end. Obviously, there was going to be some type of fluke finish. Anderson hit the basement dropkick to Enzo, picked up the victory, and Enzo put his foot on the rope, but the referee didn't see that. The ref made the count of 3. So that looks like it is setting up I knew Enzo and Cass, if they were going to win the titles, it wasn't going to be here. You obviously save that for a bigger show. You don't do it on Fastlane. You do it on WrestleMania 33. So I originally envisioned a fatal 4-way match between Enzo and Cass, The New Day, Cesaro and Sheamus, and Anderson and Gallows. So I could see one scenario being a triple threat between Cesaro and Sheamus, Anderson and Gallows, and Enzo, Amore, and Big Cass. Sorry, still waking up. But an average tag match. Nothing really to go out of your way to see. Could have seen better from these teams. And we'll see, like I said, obviously, this issue is far from over between them. We'll see what direction they go with the tag team title picture tonight on Raw. So, that was what it was. Let's talk about Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks. I thought early on in this match it was boring, but the last couple minutes for the match I thought picked up nicely. Excuse me. Similar to the way that Nia Jax, or should I say Samoa Joe, really maintained dominance and control over Sami Zayn, you could argue that Nia Jax did the same here in this match against Sasha Banks. I mean, it was really all Nia from the get-go, like I said, up until the last couple minutes, where Sasha was able to, of course, dive off the top rope. She locked in a sleeper hold, and Nia just dropped her straight back first onto the canvas. That looked really sick. Sasha was able to hit a nice tornado DDT on Nia Jax. She locked in the bank statement, but Nia was easily able to get up to her feet. And Nia had a sick-looking choke slam on Sasha Banks, and she hit the running leg drop. And she attempted to go for the Samoan drop, but this was where Sasha was able to counter with the jackknife cover and hit the bridge, surprisingly, to pick up the victory over Nia. I thought for sure they might have Nia not steamroll, but beat Sasha Banks in a match here, but Sasha was able to pick up the win. I'm okay with that. Huge fan of Sasha Banks. Obviously, they're setting up, like I keep saying, the fatal 4-way between all 4 women. That's a match I still look forward to, despite the just how the Raw Women's division has been booked. I still think it'll be a nice opportunity for Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, and Nia to go out there and hopefully have a really good match at WrestleMania. And I thought maybe they'd do the Sasha Banks heel turn there, but then I was luckily, reminded that if Sasha Banks would turn heel, think of this. How many baby faces are on the Raw Women's roster right now? If she would turn heel, just Bayley. you'd have one babyface and all heels. So I don't think you do that unless you bring Asuka into the fold, which obviously wouldn't happen until after NXT TakeOver. I would like Asuka to go to SmackDown, but I feel that she is more needed on Raw just due to the lack of depth on the Raw women's roster. I mean, it's telling. So I think that a Sasha Banks heel turn will happen, but you might hold off on that until maybe at WrestleMania itself. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens there. But I thought it was an okay match until the last 2 to 3 minutes. I thought it picked up. So, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the match for really what it was. So next up here on the card, we had our, oh boy. This was the part of the show that, to me, just really aggravated me. We were going good. We were going okay here. I liked the Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn match. I liked the tag title. I didn't like it. It was all right. Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, not bad. If we would have went from that to Neville and Jack Gallagher, and then Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, Bayley, Charlotte, Owens, Goldberg, okay, that's cool. But why did we have to do this thing where Rusev and Jinder Mahal are splitting up, so they go to McFoley and they want a match, and he gives them respective matches against mystery partners? To me, this was just a lazy way for WWE to fill time because they figured, we know this main event match is only going 22 seconds. We got to fill time somehow. So we're going to do Cesaro versus Jinder Mahal, which, of course, guess what? You just made the list. And Big Show versus Rusev. You just made the list. So those two matches, without a shadow of a doubt, made the list. So what an honor that was. Poor Cesaro. Got a nice pop. But both these matches went 8 minutes, and my God, they felt like 8 hours. They didn't need to happen. It didn't benefit anybody, really. I mean, Cesaro won. That was cool, as he should have. And then Rusev fought the Big Show, and he lost. Did any of you guys care about this? Because I really didn't. Oh, my God. I was pretty much on my phone the entire time. Felt bad for Rusev. Felt bad for Cesaro. Deserved better than this. I don't know what this was. This was just stalling for time. I knew exactly what this was. And didn't need to happen. Like I said, you could have went right to that Cruiserweight match. You could have given an extra 8 minutes to Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe. There you go. That fills that. Could have given a couple more minutes to the Cruiserweights. Or Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns. I just saw ways that you could have divided up that time, and the pay-per-view would have probably ended at 1:45. Wouldn't have a problem with that. But this was just head-scratching, and it really hurt the show and brought the grade down. So definitely the low point of the show. But you know what wasn't a low point? And I'm trying to keep the power of positivity alive in this review. Neville versus Jack Gallagher. Really good match. I'd have to say, if not my match of the night, yeah, I'm going to say it was my match of the night. I really liked this match. I really liked how we got to know more of the serious side of Jack Gallagher that we know that he has in him. Those headbutts that he was hitting on Neville, some of the bumps that Jack Gallagher took in this match against Neville was just off the charts. I mean, Neville had a nice-looking snap German suplex and the Phoenix Splash off the top rope. It was just those headbutts, man, that Jack Gallagher hit. He makes them look so believable and so realistic, like he's actually hitting Neville in the head. It was really good stuff. And this match got a "This is awesome" chant. That's the first time I can ever remember a Cruiserweight match got a "This is awesome" chant in a long time. So I thought this was one of the best Cruiserweight matches to date on the main roster, that and that Fatal 5-Way that they had several weeks ago. And this was a good showing for both Neville and his dominance, and also for Jack Gallagher and his more serious side, being able to go in there toe-to-toe with a guy like Neville and take that kind of pain and punishment despite coming up on the losing end. Of course, the finish came when Neville hit the Red Arrow. Love that finisher. One of the best. Neville's one of the best athletes in this company. I could see him having a long reign with that Cruiserweight Championship like he deserves to. And this was just a good showing all around. Now, we are going to get Rich Swann versus Neville tonight on Raw. So that's cool. That's something to look forward to. Perhaps leading to a Neville beatdown and Austin Aries making the save and setting up Austin Aries versus Neville at WrestleMania, that would be awesome. I would like to see that. Just saying. So yeah, this is where the show picked back up again, and I really enjoyed this match between Neville and Jack Gallagher. So good stuff right here, guys. And then we get to this match. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought this was a good match. I really did. But sometimes it's also about the finish of the match and how that finish affects the outcome of the match. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. Good match. Started off slow. Picked up really nicely towards the end. I liked how Strowman looked dominant in this match for the most part and how he was able to hang in there with Roman Reigns, and they had a good match. I don't have the time of the match written down, but if I could look it up here, I know it went pretty long. Probably one of the longer matches that Braun Strowman was in. If you guys can just give me a minute here, I'll tell you the times of the matches right here. The match between Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns went 17 minutes and 20 seconds. So I have to say that was Strowman's longest match to date. Like I said, I thought he had a good showing in here. When he picked Roman Reigns up and countered from that spear and just threw him into the table, power slammed him onto the table, that was really impressive. That was really nice. There was also, Strowman was able to kick out of the spear, so that was good. Just some good back and forth. Just some good back and forth action here between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. I thought they had a good match. It just goes to show how far that Braun Strowman's come. I mean, he's had a good match with the Big Show, which was really surprising. I didn't think they'd be able to pull that off. And now having a good showing here in a 17-minute pay-per-view match against Roman Reigns, that's really good stuff. So I'm trying to be as positive as I can because I have to get to the inevitable. The thing that I did not like about this match at all was the finish. So it comes down to Strowman attempts to go for a flying crossbody off the top rope, but Reigns is able to get out of the way, and that's where Reigns hits the second spear. 1, 2, 3. Braun Strowman loses to Roman Reigns. I just felt like you didn't need to do this here. You should have had, you could have done, the lights go out. So simple. I mean, you're in a tough predicament as this is. As Solomonster said in his review, which go check it out on the Solomonster Sounds Off YouTube page. Cheap plug, had to do it. But in this match, it was just like, did we really need to have it happen? I mean, because Strowman's on a roll right now, and Reigns is going to have a showdown with The Undertaker. I mean, it's kind of a lose-lose situation. I mean, they're not going to have Reigns lose, but you don't want Strowman to lose either. I mean, if you do a double countout, that's a lame finish. I mean, you could have had The Undertaker. You don't even have to have him appear. Lights go out. Spooks Reigns. Allows Strowman to get the win. There, it's a fuck finish. Bullshit. But at least, all right, Reigns lost due to The Undertaker's going off, distracting him, and Strowman got the win. Instead here, Reigns beats Strowman clean. To me, that hurts Strowman. Doesn't kill him. He's not dead. He's not buried. I'm not going to say he's buried. That's overreacting, but I'm worried. It's how you follow this up. What is next for Braun Strowman is so important. You have potential in this guy. Went out there and he had a good showing. Just because you had him lose to Roman Reigns, just don't screw him up from here on out. That's all I'm saying. I'll wait and see. I'll hold my breath. I'm not going to rant and rave. I'm going to try and go above all that. But to me, it was a mistake. That's what I'll say. That's all I'll say. In having Roman Reigns lose, Braun Strowman lose to Roman Reigns. And for that finish alone, and some of you out there were like this, you know what happens when Roman Reigns beats Braun Strowman clean on a pay-per-view? You know what happens? I think you guys know what happened. You just made the list. There you go. So, yeah. Good match. Just didn't like the finish of that match. After this, we move on to... We also had the New Day come out. I can't remember when they did. To me, was it before this? It was actually before this. They came out and they had a cart ice cream truck thing because they have ice cream bars, and this is time filler. And I'm sorry, but New Day, you just made the list too. So just for that, just for having to fill more time, it was so bad. You could have done this on Raw. As I said in one of my tweets on my Twitter, I watch these pay-per-views. It should be just mainly all action, wrestling, no talking, none of that. That's what the pay-per-view should be for. I don't need to see the New Day come out there and advertise ice cream bars because we have to kill time to get to the main event. It was a waste of my time and really it did nothing. So the New Day were there. Whoop-de-doo. Bayley versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship. Did not really like this match. I was kind of taken out of the fact that, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman finished. So I was kind of out of it at this point. Plus, the pay-per-view to me really wasn't going that well. And I really didn't think this was that good of a match. I mean, there was a major botch in the corner. I don't know what they were trying to go for. I was kind of not really paying attention, but there was that. I really thought this was the weakest match out of all the matches that Bayley and Charlotte have had together. I felt like this was the weakest. I liked the Royal Rumble match. I loved their match on Raw. But I thought something was off tonight. I don't know, that was just me. I mean, I was surprised as all hell to see that Bayley retained her championship. Sasha Banks came down and her and Charlotte began to brawl. And Bayley hit the Bayley to belly on the outside to Charlotte. And Bayley rolled her back into the ring. Charlotte attempted to go for small package. Sasha hit the distraction on the ref. Bayley countered with another Bayley to belly. And 1, 2, 3, the pay-per-view, the long built-up 16 pay-per-view streak, Charlotte came to an end here on Fastlane. Now, I really wasn't the biggest fan of the pay-per-view streak. I really didn't care, but if you're going to build it up like it's some big deal, and then to just have it end at Fastlane kind of felt like a lame payoff. If you're going to just wait till WrestleMania. I mean, what I would have probably done is I wouldn't have had Bayley win the title on Raw. You could have the rematch between her and Charlotte, save for the pay-per-view, and say Charlotte, finds a way to cheat, win, keeps the streak alive. Then you do the Fatal 4-Way, and then you could have Bayley beat Charlotte, beat her under pay-per-view undefeated streak, build her up to that point, and that's what I would have rather have done rather than see the streak just end here. And, I mean, I'm happy Bayley retained, but I was just like, that's it? Streak's over? Okay. That was kind of head-scratching. So, yeah, Bayley retains, and we'll see what direction they go in for the Fatal 4-Way match, but I just really was not a fan of this match. I thought it under-delivered, and, I don't know, the crowd really wasn't into it. They were probably taken out after after the Braun Strowman-Roman Reigns match. They were, I don't know. It was what it was. Like I said, we'll see what direction they go in for the women at WrestleMania tonight on Raw. This won't take long to talk about. Kevin Owens defending his Universal Championship against Goldberg. Now, I like what they did here. They did the big entrance. Goldberg comes down to the ring, gets in the ring. Kevin Owens comes down. And before the bell can even ring, Owens he gets in the ring, and then he gets out of the ring. And then he gets back in the ring, and then he gets back out of the ring. So he's just fucking with Goldberg here. He's playing mind games with him. Gets back in the ring, out of the ring. Back in the ring, out of the ring. This goes on for a couple minutes. Goldberg's getting pissed. Eventually, Owens gets back in the ring. He's like, all right, I'm ready. And then Chris Jericho's music hits. That distracts Kevin Owens. The bell rings. 22 seconds. Goldberg hits spear. Jackhammer. Wins the fruit roll-up. That should be his new catchphrase. Tonight on Raw will come out. I hit the spear, the jackhammer, and I got me a fruit roll-up. So, Brock, we're going to have a tug-of-war segment tonight on Raw. We'll see how far we can stretch out the fruit roll-up. So, Goldberg is your Universal Fruit Roll-Up Champion. I think that's what I should start calling that championship. I know people are probably pissed that Kevin Owens lost, but to me, it is what it is. It's the Universal title. It's a title I'm not really too attached to, don't really care that much about. I mean, let's face it, Owens had a shit reign, And at least the terrible reign finally came to an end. And it wasn't 22 seconds, but at least there was the excuse of, well, Jericho was there to cost him, distracted him. It wasn't just Owens, lost straight up to Goldberg. They did put that little wrinkle into it, and we are going to get a Kevin Owens Chris Jericho feud, which I can't wait for. Probably over the U.S. Championship, which if you think about it, not lately, but in the overall grand scheme of things, is, I say, still more prestigious than the roll-up Universal Championship. So that's how it ends. Goldberg is going to defend the Universal Championship against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I mean, if that's a match you want to do and you want to make it the biggest match possible, make it the Universal Championship, sure, fine, whatever. I'm okay with that. And at least we'll get Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, looking at the positives of that. They'll have a really good kick-ass match at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. That's how we got off the air here, guys. But this was still not a good pay-per-view. From what I expected going into what we got, this did not make me excited for the next 4 weeks of Raw. Actually, you know what it did? It actually made me more excited for Tuesday because SmackDown is going to be kick-ass. And the week after that, I will be live in attendance. SmackDown Live coming to Pittsburgh, PA. So that's what I'm looking forward to. SmackDown is the A. This keeps reiterating it. SmackDown is better than Raw. Raw is dead. It's on life support. We need to make Raw great again. But putting all that aside, my grade for the show is D+. D for Daniel. There it is. Once again, Raw gives me 2 Ds in the past week. Good job, Raw. You really continue to lower the bar. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live Fastlane review. Like I said, down below in the comments section, guys, be sure to leave me your comments, your grades, what you liked, what you didn't like for Fastlane 2017. Guys, that is it for this review. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your comments in the live chat. Thank you, as always, for participating. Remember, I will be back up here. Well, we'll see. Depending on how Raw is tonight. If it sucks, I won't be up here live. If it's a good show, I will be up here for a live review. But you can't count on me to be up here for a live review tomorrow for the A show, the flagship show, the new flagship, SmackDown Live. So be sure to tune in. Look forward to that. So that is it, guys, for this live Fastlane review. Thank you for watching. And be sure to click that like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. And that is it. I am out. I will catch you guys either later on tonight or tomorrow for my live Raw or SmackDown review. So thanks for watching and take care.